Okay, by far the most missed question on the practice exam that I posted yesterday was this. It was question number 4, and the question was, what value of x, right, will this be true? Will f of x be 0? And what happened, I'm supposing, is many of you looked at this and said, okay, here's a function. When x is 0, what's the thing? And I got the answer of 2. The answer is not 2, right? And I want you to understand the difference between two different types of questions. I can ask the question, for example, I could say, hey, what is f of negative 2? So now I'm asking you, hey, this is an input value. This is one of my domain numbers, and I'm asking, if I put negative 2 from the domain into this function, what does this function give me? Well, this function is going to give me something very close to 2, right? A little bit more than 2, like 2 point something, right? So when negative 2 goes in, I'm going to say this function gives me 2.18. I'm just making that up. But the point is that it's bigger than 2, just slightly bigger than 2, when I give it negative 2. This question that you were asked in number 4 was not asking you, I did not ask you what is f of 0. So I think you saw this and you interpreted it this way. You said, hey, if I give it an input value of 0, what does it give me back? Well, if I give this function 0, it does look like it gives me the number 2. The question you were asked was, what value of x makes the function become 0? Very different beast. So be aware of, if I'm asking you for, what is the input that produced this output, versus if you're given, let's say, if you're given this input, let's look at another one. Let's say if you're given the input of negative 6, what's the output? Okay, so here I'm asking what's the input. Over here I'm asking what's the output. What's the input? What's the output? So for this question 4, it says, hey, what input produces an output of 0? Now, if I look at the curve of this function, there are several spots along the way, like right here's one of them, and here's another. There are several values that produce an output of 0. Namely, when x is negative 4, I get 0. When x is positive 3, it gives me 0. When x is 7, it gives me 0. So I could have answered either negative 4, 3, or 7 all cause this function to hit an output value of 0. It turns out only one of those was listed as an answer choice. It was 7. So the correct answer for that question 4, was when x is 7, the function gives me an output of 0.